Hello, good day. Welcome to another edition of our class. Today, I want to talk about troubleshooting electric fence with energizer. Now, I think our last topic we talked about troubleshooting the energizer as an entity, like your energizer not turning on. But today, we have an energizer that is turning on, all right, but you still have the alarm going off. Your energizer is switched on, immediately you switch on, you notice the alarm going off. But today I want us to talk about this, how you can resolve such issue. Someone actually he called me and he was having an issue with an energizer, and I told him I was trying to explain so many things. It was difficult trying to pass this information, but I think if I have it here this way and I pass it out, might be easier for you when you have this issue in the site, how you can get yourself sorted. All right, let's assume let's just use a 6-line configuration fence. All right, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, before I go further, for our Ghanaian fans, or should I say our Ghanaian subscribers, or our Ghanaian students, whatever, if you fall into any of this, I want to let us know that we'll be having a training in Accra in the month of July, this very year 2025. The first week of July, we'll be in Accra, we'll be having a class training there. And the venue for this training will be passed across to us in a subsequent class. And before you know, I'll be sending out flyers shortly. So, but I want to make sure our arrangement is fully, should I say, 100% ready before I pass. But just get your mind set. We'll be in Accra in the month of July 2025. So, for every of our students in those who wants to learn, we'll be having training that has to do with electric fence and other courses like smart home. So please brace yourself up for that training. All right, let's assume this is our fence. Okay. Okay, we have we're gonna make it this way. Let's say we have the energizer here. So you understand, this is the one terminal here. You have on your energizer, you have 2 terminals on the left hand side and 2 on the right hand side. This is the 2. Okay, for these 2, this one is your live out, and let me assume the other is your live return. Then here you have your, let's say you have a earth out, and here we have a earth return. Okay, so let's okay, our normal configuration, we have a live earth, live earth, live. Let's assume this is configured this way. This is looped here, this is looped here, this is looped here, and one of these cable come all the way to the live out, and this one to the live return. Okay, let's say this is the live out. Let's just show the flow. Okay. Let's assume we have it this way. Okay, this is return. And you know, with your, if you're having a wizard mailing any of the name tech energizer, will always notice that the earth is comes pre-looped. It's always looped. You see this small jumper is looped under, but this is left open. So if this is looped, all you need to do, your connection, the default would be to take this to this one, and When you get here, you can loop this to the other earth, and this can go to the ground. Your earth rod buried to the ground, your fence earthed, Let's assume this is our fence. And you get to this place, you're trying to troubleshoot this energizer. You get here, you notice this energizer, the alarm is going off, and you don't even know where to start from. But one thing I always advise, the first thing you need to do when you're having that issue is to first turn off your energizer, all right? Go around the perimeter, check if you see, maybe you have maybe shrubs on the lines, maybe you have trees touching your lines, if there are trees touching the line, or any of the lines going out of, there are always, let's say, the intermediate poles. Let me assume we have an intermediate bracket here, okay? Let's assume these are poles, bracket, bobbins, all right? These are bobbins. These are the bobbins, the insulators. So sometimes you might notice some of these lines may go off the bobbin and they start touching the bracket. That can cause your energizers to start raising unnecessary alarm. And sometimes it might be that when you look, maybe some angles, you're having your lines too close to each other. Maybe somewhere you want to pass some lines through, it's a step down, like a step down kind of. The lines, if they're too close, there's high tendency you have that alarm going off. And also it might be what else, shrubs on it. You can have it might also be from the energizer area. So what you need to do, go around, check if maybe, and also sometimes if your face maybe kill anything like a reptile, like a lizard, war gecko. Most times you see them, if they see touch, they're still on the line, your alarm can also go off, or the lines might be broken somewhere. So how do you test this? How do you check for the problem? All you need to do first is to come to your energizer. Come to the energizer. When you get to the energizer, the cables going to the live and return, disconnect it. Disconnect this cable totally. Disconnect it from the energizer. Now, the live out and the live return is left fallow. Make sure this energizer is turned off before you disconnect this. Make it turned off. All you need to do, come here, loop this like a jumper. This comes pre-looped. Then just come here and get a short cable, close the live out and the live return, turn on the energizer. If the siren go off, maybe the siren, you start hearing the sound, it means there is fault with this your energizer. It is now time for you to take to a qualified technician for a check or for repairs or a total an outright change of the energizer. But by the time you close this energizer, the alarm does not go off. It starts working. You see the fence is healthy, is all right, and is working well. Then it means your fault it's going to be from the fence. The next step you need to take is get a voltmeter. Not a voltmeter, a multimeter. A multimeter has both voltmeter, ammeter, what's the name, and for ampere, resistance, and all that. But what you need to do on your multimeter, push it to continuity. Just a moment, hold on, please. Okay. Now, on your multimeter, this is what a multimeter looks like. Okay, I'm gonna put one of my probe. This, where you have this is voltage, resistance, and there's also continuity that beeps. Then take the other one on the comb. Okay, now I'm going to turn this, I'm going to turn it to this continuity. Now on your continuity terminal, if these probes comes together, this stuff beeps. There's actually a beep here. and this one does turn on a red light. Okay, now on your fence, on the cables that the cable you remove from the fence, you can as well take off the earth cable coming to the fence. It's connected from this energizer. So these are your live out and live return. Take your multimeter, place one of the probe here on this one, and one of the other on this cable. Now, if I take one of these, I put here and I put the other one here, leaving my meter on continuity, you hear if the fence is healthy, there will be a beep from this meter. You start hearing the ping sound, and this red light turns on. Then if I take one of the probe, I'll take one off. Let's assume I take one off this, I put one here, and I put one with the earth, the cable going feeding the earth. I must make sure I don't hear any sound. By the time if I hear any sound between this and this, it means the fault is from the fence. I need to make sure that there is nothing like continuity between this and this. But if I put one on the live out and on the live return, I can't even hear that sound, the beep of this meter. If you cannot hear it, it means your fence, maybe your terminal somewhere where the fence is terminated, there's actually should I say an open circuit somewhere. It's actually losing somewhere, and sometimes it might be as a result of cable reactions of cables, right? Sometimes some kind of the material you use in linking this with this. If you have scum with time, you have rainfall, sunshine, and you have reactions of metals on those terminals. Those terminals may not be that tightened. You see scum has come in and you have partial contact. They're not touching well, so not connecting well. You need to go back to your fence to revisit it. But sometimes you can also use the fence scope. The fence scope is quite expensive. Most of these installers, I have a fence scope anyway. Most times I use it. If you cannot afford a fence scope, you can also use this. So if it's a fence scope, I can put it, place it on the fence. It will show the direction of the flow. I think I've shown you in one of our videos how the fence scope looks like. So it will show you direction of flow of this correct voltage. If it gets to a particular level, like comes here, and you see it's not showing the direction, it means it's somewhere broken between this line 1 and line 2. If you put here, you get it, and put here, you cannot get it. It means there's a break in flow between this and this. If you put here, you get here, and maybe you get to this line. It's not, you cannot get any flow there. It means there should be, the fault should be from this direction. So that's how you test your fence, an electric fence, that the energizer is actually turning on, but your alarm is going off. So this is how you test it. Place your probe here, place one here. By the time you put on your fence, your multimeter on continuity, and you put one here and put one here, there should be a sound to show there's connectivity between the live out and the live return. If that has been sorted, you've gotten where the fault is, open this circuit back, all right? Return this cable here, and return this here, return your earth, making the fence is sorted. By the time you turn on this energizer, you notice your alarm immediately go off, and you see the energizer and the fence, they are both healthy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Before I go to 9, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share with others. Let them also be partaker of this lessons too. Till we meet again in our next class. Ghanaians, don't forget, we're coming in the month of July. Do have a lovely week. Bye for now.
The Food Tech TV.
I'm the red guy, call me Slim Shady.